Mark Twain Selected Works. Autobiographical Dictation of August 29th, 1907. Perils of the 4th of July. Mr. Chairman, my lords and gentlemen, once more it happens, as it has happened so often since I arrived in England a week or two ago, that instead of celebrating the 4th of July properly, as has been indicated, I have to first take care of my personal character. Sir Mortimer Durand still remains unconvinced. Well, I tried to convince these people from the beginning that I did not take the Ascot Cup, and as I have failed to persuade anybody that I did not take it, I might as well confess that I did take it and be done with it. I don't see why this uncharitable feeling should follow me everywhere, and why I should have that crime thrown up to me on all occasions. The tears that I have wept over it ought to have created a different feeling than this, and besides, I don't think it is very right or fair that, considering England has been trying to take a cup of ours for 40 years, they should make so much trouble when I try to go into the business myself. Sir Mortimer Durand, too, has had trouble from going to a dinner here, and he has told you what he suffered in consequence. But what did he suffer? He only missed his train and had to sit all night in his regimentals. I don't know what they were. Why, that caused him only one night of discomfort, and he remembers it to this day. Oh, if you could only think what I have suffered from a similar circumstance. 2 or 3 years ago in New York, with that society there which is made up of people from all British colonies and from Great Britain generally, who were educated in British colleges and British schools, I was there to respond to a toast of some kind or other, and I did then what I have been in the habit of doing from a selfish motive for a long time, and that is, I got myself placed number 3 in the list of speakers. Then you get home early. I had to go 5 miles upriver and had to catch a particular train or not get there. But see the magnanimity which is born in me, and which I have cultivated all my life. A very famous and very great British clergyman came to me presently and said, "I am away down in the list. I have got to catch a certain train this Saturday night. If I don't catch that train, I shall be carried beyond midnight and break the Sabbath. Won't you change places with me?" I said, "Certainly I will." I did it at once. Now see what happened. Talk about Sir Mortimer Durand's sufferings for a single night. I have suffered ever since, because I saved that gentleman from breaking the Sabbath. Saved him. I took his place, but I lost my train, and it was I who broke the Sabbath. Up to that time, I never had broken the Sabbath in my life, and from that day to this, I never have kept it. Our ambassador has spoken of our 4th of July and the noise it makes. We have a double 4th of July, a daylight 4th and a midnight 4th. During the day in America, as our ambassador has indicated, we keep the 4th of July properly in a reverent spirit. We devote it to teaching our children patriotic things and reverence for the Declaration of Independence. We honor the day all through the daylight hours, and when night comes, we dishonor it. 2 hours from now, on the Atlantic coast, when night shuts down, that pandemonium will begin, and there will be noise and noise and noise all night long, and there will be more than noise. There will be people crippled. There will be people killed. There will be people who will lose their eyes, and all through that permission which we give to irresponsible boys to play with firearms and firecrackers and all sorts of dangerous things. We turn that 4th of July, alas, over to rowdies to drink and get drunk and make the night hideous. And we cripple and kill more people than you would imagine. We probably began to celebrate our 4th of July night in that way 125 years ago. And on every 4th of July night since, these horrors have grown and grown until now. In the most of our 5,000 towns of America, somebody gets killed or crippled on every 4th of July night. Besides those cases of sick persons who we never hear of who die afterward as a result of the noise or the shock. They cripple and kill more people on the 4th of July in America than they kill and cripple in our American wars nowadays. And there are no pensions for these folk. And, too, we burn houses. We destroy more property on every 4th of July night than the whole of the United States was worth 125 years ago. Really, our 4th of July is our day of mourning, our day of sorrow. 50,000 people who have lost friends, or who have had friends crippled, receive that 4th of July when it comes as a day of mourning for the losses they have long ago sustained in their families. I have suffered in that way myself. I have had relatives killed in that way. One was in Chicago years ago, an uncle of mine, just as good an uncle as I have ever had, and I have had lots of them. Yes, uncles to burn, uncles to spare. This poor uncle, full of patriotism, opened his mouth to hurrah, and a rocket went down his throat. Before that man could ask for a drink of water to quench that thing, it blew up and scattered him all over the 45 states. And now this is true, I know about it myself. 24 hours after that, it was raining buttons, recognizable as his, the whole length of the Atlantic seaboard. A person cannot have a disaster like that and be entirely cheerful the rest of his life. I had another uncle on an entirely different 4th of July who was blown up that way, and really it trimmed him as it would a tree. He had hardly a limb left on him anywhere. All we have left now is an expurgated edition of him. But never mind about these things, they are merely passing matters. Don't let me make you sad.